Hello everyone, my name is Pinkulia and welcome back to Escape from the Princess. Let's just jump right back into it. Fine, I'll try to work with what you brought me. But now we'll need to make sure to approach the guards at night. In broad daylight, only a blind man wouldn't notice us wearing these. And I'm not just talking about how they'll be sewn. Neither of us have any experience with this kind of thing. Oh, you always expect the worst. You need to be more confident. Believe me, confidence is very important in adventure. I think you're confusing recklessness with confidence. Absolutely not. I know exactly what I'm talking about. Confidence can work wonders. Zara says nothing, but judging by her face, she's quite frustrated. Well, what more can I do? The delicate job of choosing the right fabric isn't exactly my area of expertise. Besides, I very carefully selected these colors, and I was still wrong. I doubt the guards will notice the difference. Anyway, what's done is done. There's no need to waste any more time arguing. Let's get all this stuff upstairs and start working. Zara says nothing. She stares at me for a few moments as if pondering something, then grabs a bagel from the grocery basket and slips it into her apron pocket. That's right. She still hasn't eaten breakfast. But the witch is already heading upstairs with a bunch of the fabric in tow. I pick up the rest and follow. Once in the bedroom, I immediately start sorting through the fabric, thread, needles, and other sewing accessories. I've never done this kind of needlework before, but I'm eager to try. Zara doesn't seem quite as enthusiastic. Honestly, it looks like she's now doubting our success, even more than she had before. Do you have any idea how priestly vestments look? Well, generally. What about you? I'm not sure. You know, the royal family worships a different goddess. That's why there aren't any Nerean priestesses at the palace. Oh, that's something I never even considered. But maybe we don't need the garments to be perfect copies. We'll be wrapped in cloaks. I'm sure the guards won't notice if some of our details are different. Yes, you may be right. Despite the fact that Zara agreed with me, I can still hear a hint of uncertainty in her voice. Oh, that witch. She only ever worries about failing. Who does that? I've always believed that if you only expect failure from life, it'll certainly pour over you as if from a bucket. As for me, I always go about my business with confidence, and I know for sure that I'll succeed sooner or later. Although, it hasn't really stopped failures from pouring over me either. So be it. At least it's more fun this way, and I'm not racking my nerves over the added stress. Choosing the right shades of fabric and having successfully avoided an argument, Zara and I begin our work. In the end, we spend several hours trying to make something that looks more or less similar to the patterns on the priestess's vestments. Unfortunately, we don't have enough blue fabric for both of the dresses, so we end up making one of the sleeves a different color. After some discussion, we come to the conclusion that you wouldn't be able to see it under the cloak anyway, so it shouldn't be a problem. Although, Zara makes me bow to wear it myself. I think it might be some sort of punishment for having bought the wrong kind of fabric. Well, I have no choice but to agree. With as much passion as I can muster, I begin sewing the dress. It's not that I'm happy with the job, but it's still more entertaining than staring at the ceiling. Zara keeps distracting me from my work. Either she sighs sadly as she watches me stitch, or cries out when I accidentally poke her with a needle. I mean, who wouldn't cry out if you poke them with a needle? Jeez. What's worse, Zara soon becomes bored and starts twirling around in different directions, distracting me even more. Ow! Rosanna, stop it! If you weren't fidgeting, I wouldn't have pricked you. I'm having a hard time understanding what I'm doing here. The last thing I need is you moving all the time. Well, what am I supposed to do? I'm getting tired of just standing here. Just let me finish this seam and we'll take a break. But it takes you so long to sew. Well, excuse me, just so you know, this is only the second time I've ever held a needle. The first time was when I sewed up my brother's pants so he couldn't put them on. I remember how Ronnie tried to pull his pants over his ridiculously skinny legs and couldn't understand why they were too tight. It was really funny, especially when he realized what was going on. Oh, and I was so happy to discover how fast I could run. I would have been in big trouble otherwise. Hearing a chuckle, I look up and to my surprise, see Zara smiling. And here I thought the witch would forever be the frown princess of Gloomania over the mistakes I've made with the fabrics. So you have a brother. Worse, I have 3 brothers. Wow, it must have not been fun being an only child. Wait, it must have been fun not being the only child. And my dyslexia strikes again. Well, not really. You have to share everything with your siblings, assuming you get anything at all. Especially if you're the eldest child. I'd always hear, "You're the oldest, deal with it," or "They're younger than you, they need it more." And this is all despite the fact I was only a year older than Ronnie and just 2 years older than the twins. 3 younger brothers, it was a living hell. Though, to be honest, I do miss them sometimes. I'm not sure why. Maybe it's because they're family. Sometimes I think Ronnie wasn't as bad as I remember, and the twins not so nosy. I have no one. I always wanted a sister to share my thoughts and feelings with, to discuss my likes and fears. But I only have a cousin, who's about to be... oh. Zara abruptly falls silent. So, her cousin is the princess? Maybe? They're related! About to be what? It doesn't really matter. Well, is that it? Are you finished? Oh, not this intrigue again. She's not going to say a word, is she? Okay, let's take a break. Zara happily pulls off the dress parts, which I fitted directly on her. Then she pulls a slightly stale bagel from her apron and starts munching on it, blindly staring off into space. And I'm once again feeling guilty about not letting her have a normal breakfast. The clock shows 4:30, and the day has now begun to fade into night. No wonder Witchy is so tired. She's been standing for several hours straight. Looking at the pieces of cloth that I've managed to sew together, I realize I've got a long way to go. Well, at the rate we're going, it'll be at least a week before we're done. A week? Oh, that's far too long. I can't be here that long. Well, there's nothing I can do about it. I'm trying my best, you know. Okay, I understand. It's just, the longer I'm under the princess's nose, the more likely she'll find me. And then I'll have to go back and, just forget about that. You need to think positive. That's easy for you to say. Not really. I mean, if we fail here, I'll be in pretty big trouble too. but I'd rather try to be strong and believe in our success. You should too. I wish I could, but I can't think of anything else. Golly. With her this anxious, I fear she won't be able to go through with things once we get there. I need to calm her down somehow, if that's even possible. Hey, do you want to know how I distract myself when I can't stop worrying about something? Sure. Great. I grab the witch's hand and drag her to the window. Climbing onto the bed, I beckon her over as I open it. What are you doing? I want to show you my secret place. Your secret place. When I need to calm down and get my head in order, I do it there. Gentle breezes, silence, and tranquility. What else does one need to relax? Throwing the window open, I climb out. And offer Zara my hand, inviting her to join me. Wouldn't people see her, though, on your roof like that? Isn't that a bad idea? The witch hesitates for a moment, but then takes a hold and clumsily follows me. Wow, this is the roof? Yes, what else did you expect? Carefully stepping to the edge of the roof, Zara looks down with a mixture of fear and curiosity on her face. And I move closer, just in case I need to grab onto her if she slips. But having satisfied her curiosity, she quickly returns to a safer spot. So, what exactly do we do here? Isn't it dangerous to walk around up here? Besides, they're looking for me. What if someone sees? Maybe it'd be better if we went back into the bedroom. Oh, come on, no one's going to see you. The townfolk rarely look up. Everyone is too preoccupied with their own business and problems to be watching the rooftops. Besides, the trees are partially in the way, making it hard to see us from the street. And without your exotic clothing, you're more difficult to recognize. Zara looks at me skeptically. It seems I'm not doing a very good job of convincing her. Just look around. It's always peaceful here. There's no people, noise, or bustle. Up here, there's only the birds, the sky, and silence. It's a great place to relax, and if you want to have a little fun, you can always toss apples at the passerbys. Assuming you have apples. Though I wouldn't recommend sleeping here. I once fell asleep and got a terrible sunburn. My face looked like a tomato for 2 weeks straight. I didn't want to leave the house looking like that. Zara smiles slightly, but says nothing. Want to take a walk? The rooftops are close enough to each other that we can hop from one to another. So how about it? Come on! I hold my hand out to Zara, but she looks at me warily. Don't worry, everything will be fine. Trust me. Zara instantly frowns when I say trust. No, I really need to go back. Thanks for showing me this place, but it'd be better if I were in the house. And then Zara heads back to the open window. Disappearing into the bedroom, I'm left wondering if I did something wrong. Perhaps I missed something or said something that upset her. I don't know. All I wanted was to help her, one way or another. But I guess my idea failed. Well, I'm sorry. Once inside, I suggest going downstairs for a snack since we'd already missed dinner. Zara readily agrees. And so we head to the kitchen and fill our bellies. In the end, no matter how intense the day, it's not worth skipping a meal over. We spend some time discussing our plan, looking for ways to make it less dangerous. And bounce a lot of different ideas off of each other, but none of them seem good enough. I have to admit, this discussion feels like a waste of time. Although Zara mentions the purification crystal a few times, and it bothers me a little. Is she still intent on regaining her full magic power? Well, I expected something like this. Who in their right mind would refuse their own powers? But I still worry over the witch being so secretive about what type of magic she has. It's long past midnight when we finally go to sleep. And this time, I'm not as vexed by the witch's presence in my bed. But when Zara crawls next to me under the blanket, I feel my face flush again. Fortunately, I'm too tired to think about it, and I fall asleep the moment my head touches the pillow. The next few days fly by. It's only been a few days, and yet I'm so used to Zara's presence in my life that I can't imagine what it would be like when she finally flees town. I often catch myself thinking about how boring it was being alone all the time. Even stranger, I rarely find myself thinking about magic anymore, and it used to be such a big part of my life. What has happened to me? That's an excellent question, and we will find that out next time. So thank you everybody so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!